In a recent development, Bola Tinubu has ordered the Central Bank of Nigeria to suspend the implementation of the 0.5% cybersecurity levy. The Information and National Orientation Minister Mohammed Idris on Tuesday disclosed that the presidential directive was in response to public outrage at the policy. Idris said Tinubu has directed the Apex Bank to halt the enforcement of the cybersecurity levy and review the methods for its application. The chairman of the Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Senator Shehu Umar Buba, had earlier clarified that the cybersecurity levy was not targeted at individuals or bank customers. The senator who sponsored the amendment bill told Economic Confidential that the levy was targeted at financial institutions and telecom companies, the most vulnerable sectors to financial crimes and cyber fraud, to enhance security measures and national security in the country. He noted that the relevant section of the Cybercrime Act was very clear about the businesses that were required to pay the levy, not the citizens. The act is very explicit about who is responsible for the payment, not Nigerian citizens or individuals. The relevant section of the Cybercrime Act 2015 listed the businesses required to pay the levy, which is the telecom companies, internet service providers, banks, insurance companies, the Nigerian Stock Exchange, and other financial institutions. The organizations in these sectors have been listed in previous circular by the Central Bank of Nigeria, especially in 2018. The new circular by the CBN further provided many exemptions. Senator Buba also explained the amounts payable as a cybersecurity levy. This development has sparked reactions from ex-users who voiced out their concerns. One of the ex-user, Paddy for Life, who says, "Games, he will introduce one stupid policy and stop it, and looking for praise. The gullibility of some Nigerians is why these criminal leaders take us for granted. Let him cancel the electricity on." Another ex-user, Lady Gaga, who says, "Perambulating, but he's still the same place. Only you want to tax the masses to death. They called you out refusing your draconian random tax on everything taxable, including air. Then and only then did you revert back to the status quo. Mind you, you didn't do Nigerians any good over this." So this also boils down to the issues behind the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, which builds up controversial issues across the nation. Since Bola Tinubu has decided to suspend cybersecurity levy, Nigerians also think that this Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway should be reviewed or suspended totally, because the recent findings emanating from the same corridor, this project happens to be a huge scam. Amid the crisis hitting Rivers State, the governor, Sim Fubara, has decried the substantial debt burden inherited from the previous administration of Nyesom Wike, saying most of the projects commissioned in the states were not fully funded. Governor Fubara stated this during the commissioning of the Ale-to-Ogale Road, also known as Old Bori Road, in Eleme local government area of the state, which was commissioned by the governor of Abia State, Alex Oti. Sim Fubara said that the contractors who handled the affected projects are now returning for outstanding payments, which is running into billions. He said he is now compelled to speak out after being pushed by his opponents. Governor Fubara expressed his intentions to appear for project commissioning, projects with white paper detailing project funding. Governor Fubara clarified that his administration has not engaged in conflict with the federal government, saying it has instead received support, although challenges persist due to the interests of an insider. He justified the presence of Alex Oti at the commissioning, citing a commitment to aligning with progressive figures. On his part, Alex Oti commended Fubara for the job he is doing in Rivers State. He described Fubara's style of governance as true leadership, adding that true leadership is service to the people and not to a few interests. Oti said, having served in the administration of Peter Odile and Rotimi Amechi, Governor Fubara came prepared. He believes Fubara cannot be distracted by the political instability in Rivers State. He asserted that power belongs to God and no human being has the capacity to give power, except he can also give life.
If we are fighting federal government, it's a different matter. We're talking about federal government that is giving us support. but the rat in the house that is eating the bag of curry. So you can imagine such situation. Huh? But we have already said the attack words to finish it. Should be noted. And for the record, it was awarded to CCECC as a contractor. It was awarded on the 14th of August. And I believe 14th of August was not I. It was this administration. I also went further. Because as we're going now, we'll be going with a white paper to show record and amount. This project was awarded at the cost of 6.7 billion. And I can say boldly that no kobo is remaining. We've paid the contractor completely. The purpose of this is to let the world know that if there is one problem this administration has, is debt. Most of the projects that have been commissioned, they are coming for their balance payment, and it's running in millions and billions. I've said I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk because I am part of that system. But when you keep pushing me to talk, I will say it so that they will see the nyash of the fowl. But let us leave that one until when we are ready. We will also be ready. The small one we are doing now, they are not sleeping. I wonder what will happen when we do the big one.
Yesterday, Mr. Peter Obi attended the 5th Memorial Lecture of Justice Anthony Nemezie at the Peter Mba Auditorium, Godfrey Okoye University, Tinker's Corner, Enugu State, where he passionately emphasized the vital role the judiciary plays in shaping Nigeria's destiny. Through his exemplary leadership during his tenure as Anambra State Governor 2007 to 2014, he demonstrated unwavering commitment to judicial independence, ensuring that the judiciary operated without fear or favor. His proactive measures, such as granting financial autonomy to the judiciary and enforcing court orders, showcase his dedication to upholding the rule of law. Additionally, his initiation of judicial reforms, including the establishment of a Judicial Service Commission aimed at enhancing the judiciary's performance, further underscored his visionary leadership. Moreover, Mr. Peter Obi's tireless effort to improve access to justice for all citizens, especially the marginalized and vulnerable, and simplified his commitment to inclusivity and fairness. By highlighting Mr. Peter Obi's resilience in navigating through electoral disputes and impeachment proceedings, the lecture illustrated the judiciary's indispensable role in upholding justice and the rule of law, irrespective of political challenges. Mr. Obi's remarkable journey serves as a beacon of hope, demonstrating how a strong and functional judiciary can pave the way for a brighter future for Nigeria. Through his inspiring leadership, Mr. Obi has shown that by supporting judicial independence and effectiveness, Nigeria can build a stronger, more just, and prosperous society for all citizens. Let us be inspired to work towards a Nigeria where the rule of law reigns and the judiciary serves justice, not corruption. We have the potential to be great. Let us strive for it. Now, let us hear the full speech from His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi.
And the topic, this is trying to change the topic, because when I was coming yesterday, I said, which topic am I supposed to be speaking on? I even called my very dear respected sister. Visi, they said the topic is judiciary and the future of Nigeria. But Visi said democracy and future of Nigeria. You see, I don't know which one now to speak on, but I'm trying both of them. I'm trying to mix both of them. Because I think if I go on the last one, democracy and future of Nigeria, Nigeria won't have future. A fair, strong, independent judiciary Because they are the ones who interpret the law. It's a dispute. They are the ones to adjudicate the law. Once you don't have a fair, independent, and strong, incorruptible judiciary, there is no rule of law, and you have no society. I have a case of where somebody supplied 15 vehicles to a governor in this country. The governors gave it to traditional rulers, the vehicles. They gave him all the titles. For 4 years, the contract says, if you bring this vehicle, we will pay you. He was not paid for 4 years. The governor left office. He is now pursuing the other governor new governor to pay him. Meanwhile, the traditional plan have received the vehicle, giving the governor all of titles and everything for being a great man, or for ruining another person's life and business. Because there's no law. They don't respect contracts in this country. There's no rule of law. It's a place where even if I go around as the governor, I can push people down. Because they have no rule of law. Because if you do it anywhere, no matter how tiny place, you end up in court. And that might cost you your office. But here, bad behavior, rascality, is a matter of power and might. So I come here, police is pushing everybody. And everybody is clearing the road. The foreign investor has to be sure there's law and order, there's security, there's this. And all this, absence of it, makes it impossible to attract any foreign investor. It makes it impossible even for the local investor to invest. Because there's a situation where if I use somebody like Innocent, when Innocent was building his plant, I laid the foundation of that facility. And when he was completing it, he told me the things he needs to do and everything. And I said, since you're doing this here, we are going to give you another 1,000 vehicles. We're going to buy cars for our security people, for our traditional rulers, and for our schools. I wasn't close to Innocent. Innocent had borrowed money from a bank, imported goods into this country. He was still owing the bank. When he was trying to manage, because it was supposed to be something that's supposed to be 5%, and when he came, they said it's 35%. He was still arguing with custom. He borrowed 800 million naira. What goods? What of that amount? He was still arguing with custom about the rate. For them to reverse it, he entered what we call overtime cargo. And that goods was sold to a senator in Nigeria for 40 million. So I was going to Abuja, somebody told me the story. And I drove to his house and said, I heard this story. He said, yes, that's what happened. I said, can I have the documents? So I took the documents. So I went to President Jonathan and I said, we are looking for foreign investors. Look at what they did to local investors. So who will come here? Nobody will come here. Because there's no law. There's no order. He was at mercy of anybody who could help him. He was ready to even part with his own money. And Jonathan said, no, it's not possible. President Jonathan, and he called the Minister of Finance then, and then called the custom controller general, and he was through. And he ordered that he's giving them 1 month to pay him back all his money. Without that, a bank where he borrowed money We are driving to AFCC. He will be jailed because there is no law. There is no rule of law. It's a disorderly society. Whenever we talk about democracy, people say, no, the problem is INEC. INEC is not the problem. The problem is that we have no judiciary. The judiciary in Nigeria has become the biggest threat to the existence of Nigeria. If we have, business will thrive, investments will thrive, democracy will thrive, because people will now do the right things. But because today, our judiciary has become as transaction much you're willing to pay. I'm one of those who claim to be highest beneficiary of judiciary when it works. What I said is that we can't spend all the money we earn as a state, because this money we are sharing from oil is not only meant for this generation, it's meant for future generations. Because we are spending the diminishing assets, so we must save for the future. They said you can't save. So I was waiting for the panel. When the panel didn't want to see me, I wrote to them explaining this. I wrote them like on Friday morning. I was in beach. They just go down and say each for offenses. If you go to the House of Assembly in Anambra, you will never see where the offenses taken based on the report of the panel report. No report. So I went to court, and the court headed the judiciary then as the one. They told me into office. I said I'm not supposed to be impeached. 6 months after that, or 3 months after that, I told Tinubu here, said I'm talking nonsense. The appeal company Tinubu here said I'm talking nonsense. And I went to Supreme Court, presided by people, jurists of respect. Never met the 7 of them agreed with me and returned me. Why did I use it as a, that was where then, today, they will probably give me cost for disturbing their peace. And that is why I said, what the judiciary can do, it can ruin whatever makes the society. So it's not INEC. You can see that INEC declared me the first one, but they were, I was in town. So they are careful. When they conducted the election without this, looking at the constitution, they were stopped. That's why today you have us in the election. It was me who started it. Because we don't know the value of the intangible assets of rule of law. The biggest component of the intangible assets, which today, globally, intangible assets contribute more to any country than tangible assets. Whenever I travel, I was in Canada over the weekend, and I said to them, these countries don't have better weather than we have. They don't have better food than we have. We actually have better weather, food, everything that most of the people are running to today. What do they have that we don't have? The intangible assets of rule of law. I'm going to start this. I believe that it will work. And I believe that if there's anything, I will be able to seek redress in the law. And this goes on and on because our judiciary is compromised. So judiciary not even what the executive does. Because the executive, yes, they have a lot to do. The lawmakers have made the law, but if the law is not properly interpreted by fair system educated,